Also, this is going to be week 6 of my assignment. So first we're going to go ahead and clear the weapon. Weapon's clear. Feel nothing, so we're good to work. I already moved all the ammunition off my work site. So first part is part 1, we're going to field strip. So field strip is basically going into a quick process of taking your weapon apart. So we're going to go ahead and release the retaining pin. So we're going to pull out the actual bolt, charging handle. We're going to go ahead and push out the buffer spring. Put this aside. And then we're going to go ahead and break down the bolt, which is removing the retaining pin. And that is how you field strip your weapon. When you do this, it's a quick breakdown of the gun to either lubricate it, clean it, fix any broken parts on it, and basically that's how you field strip. And once you want to rebuild, you just put everything back together. So for me, for part 2, the actual upgrades I plan to do to this weapon is, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and replace the trigger. I'm probably going to use a 6-hour 1-pound trigger, which runs about $350 to $400. What that does is just gives me a performance upgrade on my shooting. I'm going to go ahead and add Picatinny railing adapters right here because I plan to add a laser, a bipod assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and add an optic on this. I'm preferably going to go with the antimatter scope switch, which basically it's an optic where it has a mounted system here, which has a guided hand zoom in and out that ties on to the zoom in, zoom out of the optic. So basically I can zoom in and zoom out on targets without moving my hand. That's going to run me anywhere between $400 and $500. Next thing I'm going to add a Devil Dog Concepts charging handle, which takes just adding it's going to be the same charging handle here. What it's going to do is it's going to have a Picatinny reel adding here, and it's going to give you that side charging handle like an AK-47. Now for me, the reason I'm choosing that is because kind of when I'm firing like this and I have to rack back this way with my fingers, it's kind of difficult. So what I would rather do is have it more of a midway section here where I'm close and compact and just have to pull it back. And that's one of the upgrades I'm also going to do. I also recently just found out about silent buffer springs and silent buffer system, so I'm going to look into that. I'm not too sure how it works or what it entails, but I'm going to look into probably getting a silent buffer, only because my goal plan for this rifle, which is a 308, it's a big round, I'm going to use it for hunting. So part 3, like I said, I'm gonna choose a trigger from 6-hour. The benefits are there. The actual pounds to pressure to squeeze is a lot less, which I want, especially when I'm hunting, because I want to be able to get that squeeze and get it off as soon as my breath comes out. For part 4, dimpling. If I don't plan on doing any dimpling on any of the gas blocks or any designs on my bolt. You know, I'm not gonna do anything to this rifle maybe besides hydro dip it into a camouflage color, and also add a suppressor to the end of this. But other than that, dimpling, bejeweling, all that other stuff that's offered, it's not my thing. I have no future plans to do it to any of this. Not even this weapon, my Glocks, my SIG, my shotgun, none of that. I'm pretty simple. Just gonna keep it how it is. I don't want to deal with it rusting in the future or anything like that. So for the drop test, let me go ahead and put it back together, and then I'll come back for the drop test. Okay, so before we do the drop test, we're going to make sure the weapon is clear, so we're good. So basically what the drop test is going to do is that, just in case, so it takes a lot of force to get these springs and everything to move. So a good way to test it and make sure everything is still functional is to bang it on the floor. And I'm not saying you're going to pick it up and slam it. All you're going to do is you're going to pick it up about 2 feet and push it down. Now, weapon is on safe. The weapon is on safe. The trigger shouldn't fire. The bolt shouldn't move. So we're going to go ahead and just... So obviously doing this, the bolt is going to come back because of the pressure, but if it should not fire. So if we squeeze the trigger, nothing should happen. Now, also this being on fire, it's gonna do the same. The bolt's gonna fall back, but nothing should go off. So that is a drop test. Now, doing that, we can go into a function check, make sure that nothing's broken, everything's still working. So with the weapon still on fire, we're gonna squeeze the trigger. It clicks. So that means the weapon didn't go off when it dropped. So now go ahead and charge it back. We're going to put the weapon on safe, and nothing should happen. So that concludes the drop test, and this concludes my side.